I met a man inside the vitamin store that's from, well, I don't know, I think it's from 60s, maybe early 70s. He's wearing an interesting uniform. We'll see if he exits the store right now. He might have used his time machine already to get back to 1967. So yeah, what year would you say you're from? What year?
I was born in 1921.
1921,
yeah,
okay.
But I was gifted with the ability to time travel. So I've been hopping through decades, trying to find the best decade for a vegan.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're on a mission, all right.
Exactly, yeah.
On a mission. Okay.
So I'm here now, 2019, and so far it's been pretty good, but I think we can do better. So I'm gonna jump another, I don't know yet, maybe another 2 decades.
Yeah, they're freaking omnivores, right?
Yeah,
Who likes those omnivores, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As an omnivore myself,
yes.
You know, I can understand why I would be hated by the vegan community. I get that.
Oh no, there's no hate.
Oh, so you are the more evolved vegan community.
It's only love.
Okay, I'm seeing a highly evolved vegan being here because.
Well, I do my best.
I get a lot of hate from.
Well, how do you think I have the ability to time travel?
That's right.
It's because I am that evolved.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. There you go.
Nice meeting you.
Train the muscles, not the joints. Mountain. So welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about full body movements as opposed to not full body movements. Like you could look at them as isolation or maybe even a compound movement, but it's not a full body movement, and how there's a bit of a misunderstanding amongst like what's better for overall lifting and what's better for overall bodybuilding, because sometimes people think more is better or combining more things is always better, but each thing will have its own individual way of causing the body some stimulus, and it will have a different adaptive response. So full body movements are awesome. I mean, I'm not saying that full body movements are insufficient in any way or less than isolations or really concentrating on just on one muscle group at a time, but they do have a different purpose. And one of their purposes is to align all systems together so that way everything is working in harmony, right? So say you're going to do a power clean that goes into a shoulder press. That would include many different systems all at the same time, and there would be a different weak link that hits failure than say just doing overhead shoulder press by itself, right? Because you have to lift the weight from the floor, you need to power clean it, and then you need to basically press it. So there's all these different muscle groups that are coming into alignment. They all have to work together in perfect timing in order for that lift to happen. So you're gonna have to use a lot less weight in most circumstances, and it's just gonna be something totally different. So your lower back will hit failure probably first rather than the shoulders, or vice versa, but it's not gonna be the same as if you just do shoulder presses. So I find a lot of times, because people have realized the effectiveness of these whole body workouts or these whole body exercises, they start to think that, oh, that's the best way to build muscle. It's the only way, you know, just do the whole body movements. That's really how you get big and strong. And I would say they're right a little bit, but they're not taking in the whole picture. The whole picture is much more complicated, because the whole body movement can stimulate the entire system, maybe create a hormonal response, whatever. Like when you're doing a heavy squat or a heavy deadlift, you're including a lot more body parts than say just doing bicep curls, right? And by doing this, you actually stimulate the system. So there's system stimulation and then there's muscle stimulation. And I think there's advantages to doing both in your training, not just one or the other. That guy must squat a lot of weight. His ass is huge and furry. So yeah, full body movements are a great way to stimulate the entire system. So a full body movement, or most of the body movement, could be looked at as deadlifts, squats, Romanian deadlifts, you know, anything that includes the hips, the knees, the lower back. Those are really the main areas, right? And whenever you include the lower back, you're going to include a lot of stimulus. So I find that it's okay to do those movements, but if you start to develop deficiencies in your physique as a bodybuilder, like say you're getting awesome lower back development, but you're not getting the quad development you're looking for, or the leg development, maybe you need to start isolating a bit or doing a different movement where you ensure that the body part you want to get better at is the one that's hitting failure in the set. So that's the disadvantage of the whole body movement. So sometimes when you do a whole body movement, sometimes one area hits failure all the time, but the other areas still have a lot of gas left in the tank. So they're never hitting failure. So you're never making them adapt. So this is a thing to consider. So that's where bodybuilding comes in, where you do those full body movements to stimulate the whole system, but then you might do the isolation movements or those fine tuning movements to make sure that you're actually hitting the muscle group. For instance, I was doing skull crushers lots in the garage, And skull crushers are a great movement, but there's different ways of doing a skull crusher in order to hit different parts of the tricep. And one thing that I did was I started to go really extreme and bring the elbows up here and just do this type of movement on the actual tricep. You know, do the same type of skull crusher movement, but as I'm laying on my back, I'm doing this. And then what I was noticing, I'm actually getting more development because I'm bringing in a larger percentage of the tricep. Whereas when my elbow's like this, I'm bringing in more the medial head and a little bit of the outer head. I was feeling it there as well, but I wasn't bringing in the massive belly of the tricep. And I noticed that my triceps are getting bigger from this overall stretch. So this is a way that you could strategize when it comes down to how you do a movement or what movement you do, because you want to make sure, once again, that the muscle that you want to hit is hitting failure, not just the overall system. But there is advantages to stimulate the system, so do both. You do those big overall body stimulation movements. Sometimes they can be, you know, rack pulls, or sometimes they can be heavy squats or heavy deadlifts or whatever. As long as they don't injure you, I'm okay with that. And as long as you're not just twisting the spine up in the knots or screwing the knees up just for the sake of doing it, then it's fine. So do the whole body movements, but safely, and do it in a way that doesn't disturb your body, because ultimately you need a body that's not broken in order to be able to continue to train. And then from there, you do the isolation movements, or you do the compounds that concentrate more on the areas that you want to hit. So anyway, I hope this helps you out in your training. I hope this helps you understand how to be a mountain. And thanks a lot for watching. And if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com. And thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. You really should get that looked at. Honestly, you should get that looked at.